So the nature of yin and yang, I recently have figured out like a new level of this, and it was essentially that if we think about consciousness, we think about reality. Reality, there's physical objects around us made of wood and metal and plastic, dirt, etc., stone. These are yin. These are physical objects, right? Your yang function is the consciousness to perceive these, the consciousness to hear, to smell, to taste, touch, etc., to essentially understand and experience reality. So yin is reality, yang is the consciousness and understanding of reality. And then the yin parts of physical reality, of course, is the earth and the water, while the yang parts is the fire and the air. But ultimately, you can think that's like a yang within yin, because this whole world, whether it's the air world, the fire world, the water, and the earth, it's all technically the physical world. It's all the yin world. Well, the imaginary world is the contrast. It's a yang world. So a physical object in the imagination is a yin within yang substance. So it's a physical within a non-physical, or some kind of spiritual world, you can think. So the mind is the faculty of consciousness, the organ, the physical part in our body that allows us to process consciousness and use it. The sensory body. And it's the electricity, the electromagnetism running through the brain and the nerves that allows for this to happen. Potentially you could get into the electrochemical and all that kind of stuff, which I guess gets into spiritual, like actual vapors, electrical vapors within the body, perhaps something like that, if we relate it to hormones and chemicals and all that kind of stuff. So your brain allows you to sense the world, and you've got the ears and the eyes and the tongue. You can touch things, and that's what allows you to have consciousness within a physical world. Because if you didn't have that brain, you would just be a body, which would be like a robot that would be just doing a task, something like that. You would have no eyes, you wouldn't be able to see things. So the more sensory ability you give a robot, the more conscious it has, the more potential for consciousness it has. A camera can see things, but that's all it is. It's like if you took a person's eye and their memory, and you had a magical function of that, that person's head or whatever, that it snaps pictures to its memory. That'd be a biological camera. While the human's a little bit different, because it can think about the memories of whatever picture it took, or it can analyze things. So I believe potentially the more a robot is able to self-analyze, become self-conscious and conscious about what it does, the less it's just there for a task. Calculator, it's a task-based computer. It calculates numbers and such. Imagine if the calculator could observe you typing in numbers and doing mathematics, and it starts to talk to you. It starts to say, "Are you sure you did that correctly?" Or how about we try some of these things? How about you learn this kind of mathematics or something? The calculator starts to become it's like a spirit, like in the kind of old way, not as a vapor, but a spirit as like a conscious kind of entity. because the calculator starts to have a mind of its own. Similarly, in the way that if an animal was able to develop its brain enough through spiritual cultivation, cultivating of the mind, the spiritual functioning organ in the body, it would become a spirit animal or something like that. And then you have the old stories of animals transforming into humans to, engage in the human world, and then going back into the woods and transforming to an animal. Whether there's any truth to that, I don't know. So to get back to the main point, then we can look at, for example, genders. Male is a spiritually dominant creature. Men are very nervous system dominant. They're very expressive and outward, because men have to do things in the world. They have to go out in the world and they have to express themselves out, doing some kind of job or whatever, some kind of task, some kind of mission. Women, they need their passive energy to flow inside, because if they don't, then they can't have a child. A man can't have a child because his energy is always going out, because it's yang. A woman can, because her energy is physically going to her body, usually going downwards, developing, putting on more resources through fat and such. Or through the production of blood, having more blood. So this you can think again with animals. There are certain animals that are more physically dominant, like a hippo, a cow, a rhino, a pig. These are more physically dominant, while a bird is smaller. Maybe it's more, a bird is more, it flies in the sky. I'm not sure if a bird is more nervous system dominant, but I'm sure there is an animal. Humans are actually more nervous system dominant, funny enough. So humans are a very yang animal in a way. That's why we're able to do this. I'm able to construct my thoughts in such a way because I have a developed nervous system. I have a developed brain. Hypothetically then, like a ghost or an alien or some kind of next fifth level, higher level evolution of a human, or just of a life being, is when the brain evolves to the next level. I do believe the body as well would evolve to the next level, because if you have a better brain, you have a better body. It's just kind of how it works as well. But yeah, you could use the brain. That could be one way to push forward the body through thought and through better understanding of reality. If you don't have to waste energy doing something, you won't. You can spend it more efficiently. Then you can level up more in life and all that. But yeah, I think if anything, the interesting thing to ponder is how does consciousness work and exist, and what if there was no consciousness? What if there was only physical objects? Or what if there was no physical objects, there was only consciousness? That is the ghost world. The astral plane, the imaginary world, is the world of pure yang energy, pure consciousness. While the yin world is that of pure physicality, of pure objects and such like that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I thought it was interesting. And of course, feel free to check the links in the description for social or commercial stuff. And have a nice day.